Hey everybody, it's Justin. Now, I'm not gonna pretend like I know a whole lot about cars, but after being burnt a couple of times by some mechanics, um, I taught myself a little bit. This video is going to be about my experiences dealing with mechanics in America and dealing with mechanics in Germany. And I could make this video with a smile on my face now because I found somebody, or at least I have a contact to someone that has been doing fixing my car very well, and I'm quite happy. So let's get started with the video. Let me just let me just close this. I don't know what I'm doing. I am not going to pretend to be a DIY type person. I have learned a lot from my brothers. I've learned a lot from some family members, but I am no expert in anything. Um, but after being burnt a few times, you do pick up a few tricks just so you are more informed. Um, I have multiple stories, but I'll say this much. It seems like in Germany, you pay a whole lot more to get your car fixed in America than in America. Um, I just think cars here are just more expensive than in America. Cars are a great form of transportation in America. It's mainly the only form of transportation. Um, there's no, I mean, there's buses in some places, there's trains in some places, but it's not like here in Germany. And so having a car in Germany is more of a luxury. And it's crazy because I don't think I've had a bill for my car less than 400 bucks. I have a job, so I don't bulk at it like I would in America, but it seemed like every time they do something to my car, they're hitting me up for at least 400. But I'm not disappointed. I'm not sad. My car is running well. But this video is going to address so much. The older you get, the more, I'm gonna say the older I've become, the more um, distrustful I am of others. And it seems like anytime you find a mechanic, they're always trying to rip you off because they know you don't know anything. It's not just women, it's everybody. In America, I've had some pretty tough experiences with mechanics. Um, and in Germany, I've had some really interesting experiences as well. And here's the biggest trick that I noticed about Germany. And this is also where you got to make sure in Germany, before I get started to my main video, in Germany, you have to go to a TÜV every 2 or 3 years. In America, you might think it's similar to a smog test like in California, where if your car doesn't pass a smog test, then your car is not fit for the road. Well, the TÜV test in Germany is a little bit more complicated. It's more than just smog. They check everything. And some, even small things such as not having your lights working, will cause them to fail your car, and you will have to get these things fixed. What I'm noticing is a lot of times people, at least I, sometimes will get my car serviced around the same times I need to have a TIF. And these people know that, and they will not, I feel like you're held over a barrel, right? It's like a gun to your head in a sense that they know that you are more vulnerable to get everything fixed because you want your car to pass the TIF. And you will go ahead and get everything fixed, and no matter how much they say it is, especially if you wait to the last minute before you get it done. And sometimes I feel like here in Germany, they have gotten the best of me in those situations. So this video is going to address that as well as my experiences in America. Let's get to it. So finding a mechanic is like finding a doctor. You got to have someone that you can trust with a piece of equipment that you're going to use every day. I've had some experiences with a lot of shade tree mechanics, people that did a great job, did the best they could, but they weren't satisfied. And so you kind of got what you got. I've had experiences with the ones that were certified that seemed like they would pay you so much for things that you think, man, it shouldn't cost that much. But I went to a mechanic, especially after I got up my new car. I was green. I thought that by going to the auto repair shop of the same place where I bought my car at this dealership, that it would build some type of loyalty. They'll see that they have a record of all of my services on the computer, and if when it was time to trade my car in, if I want to update, then because they've seen that loyalty, blah blah blah, I fell for the whole loyalty crap, that they would take care of me. Well, I found out that these people, and I'm not gonna call their name because they it's been over 10 years. It's been over 20 years. So I'm not gonna call anybody out, but nevertheless, they did me dirty, and I didn't even know it. I wasn't trying to catch them. So I'll just give you one example of what I went through at this dealership. I bought, I went there to get my oil changed and my tires rotated every 10,000 kilometers, whatever they recommended, and I did it religiously. I was there. I got it done. Um, and there would always be this guy, a nice guy. He would always be working around the computers, and he would tell you what you needed and what you didn't need, and they say they're going to do this check, this blah blah blah. Make sure you have everything's up to date. Your wheels are good. Your uh, brake fluid and all that type of stuff. They're going to check to make sure your belts are out, everything was lined up. Do this 10 point, 15, 20 point check, whatever they say they're doing, blah blah blah, and give you a sheet of paper. Well, I've been there enough many times. I've seen this guy do it before, and he would come around with an air filter, and he would show the people the air filter and say, "Hey, I think it's time you get an air filter. This one is really, really dirty. Would you like us to change it?" And some people say yes, some people say no. And I watched, and it was getting time, close time for me to replace mine anyway. At least I think according to the book, it was getting close to time. So one day, the guy came out to me, and like he normally did, he came out and he showed me this air filter. Now, mind you, I didn't realize this air filter looked the same in every time he showed me. I didn't, or he showed other people. I didn't realize it. And he came up to me and was like, "Sir, here's your air filter, and it's very, very dirty. I think it's time for you to replace it. It will make your car run a lot better." I just said, "Are you sure that's from my car?" He said, "Yeah, yes, sir. It's from your car." I said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yes, yes." I said, "But my car is still sitting in the parking lot." And he looked up and I pointed it out. And he looked up and he went back to the computer. Now, mind you, I'm gullible. I just assumed that he made a mistake. My car, I had already checked in. Um, he probably, in my opinion, because it was a Ford dealership, and so there's a lot of Fords there, a lot of Ford folks are just like my old car. I just thought, he made the mistake. There's another Ford Focus there. He would go back to his computer, figure out who could card that he meant to talk to, and then go up to those people, because the room was packed full of people. He didn't do that. He just hid behind his computer, and that's when I realized right then, like, oh man, I done caught this guy. But once again, I'm still gullible. I'm trusting. But maybe someone came out to my car, which they never do, came out to my car and checked it in the parking lot because they were so backed up, they just sent someone out there to it. And so I went to AutoZone. The next day I went to AutoZone. After I got my oil changed, after I got my tires rotated, I went to AutoZone. And I'm like, "Hey, I need to buy a new air filter." And the guy said, "Sure." It was a young guy, maybe 22 or something like that. It was a young guy. Um, and he was like, "Sure, here's your air." He said, "Okay, here's an air filter." And he said, would you like for me to install it for you?" I'm like, "Yes, of course," because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just going to buy one. And he went out to my car and he took mine out. That's for the first time I noticed the one that the guy showed me at the store was white. Mine was black with a yellow. The filter was yellow. And he put it out. He said, "Oh, sir, your air filter looks good still." He said, "Let me just dust it off." He said, "Dust it off and put it right back in my car." I said, "Hey, you don't need one yet." He said, "Let me give you your money back, and let's return this item and give you your money back, unless you still want it." I told him, "No, I'm fine, thank you." And I gave the man a €5 tip. Man, the dude didn't try to sell me. I wish I would have got his name, because man, I would give him praises right now. This before I ever did reviews and stuff like that, but I would give this guy praises. I wonder if he's still there. Um, but man, he did not have to do it. He could just sold me the product. He could just let me leave out. But he helped me save some money, and I respect that. And ever since then, I've been very eerie of these people. But once again, though, I still went back there because I was still being green. I'm still gullible. I didn't see the guy there anymore. I didn't turn him in. I didn't see the guy anymore. Somebody else must have turned him in because he wasn't there every time I went there anymore. But anyway, they got me another time. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. They got me another time. They broke my gas. What was it? My my something. One of my cables, fluid lines had corroded. They said, and it was broken. And so they told me they had to fix it. They said it wasn't gonna cost me anything, and they were gonna pay for a rental car. I said, okay, I believed them. Now, I also believed them that my car even was corroded, but at the same time, I went to them regularly. I did every check they said check, so they should have noticed if it was corroding. They should have noticed. But once again, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Uh, Fuel injection, whatever the fuel injection, I don't remember. Anyway, what they ended up doing was they charged me in other ways. Like they ended up charging me for the rental car, and I paid for it. But every time I paid the rental car ticket off, somehow they'll say they sent the money to collections. I believe the damn rental car was in cahoots, because I'm pretty sure they used that same rental car with other people. So I believe they somehow another found a way to cheat me. So once again, I don't trust car places now, and I don't think many people do trust car places. It's one of those things where, okay, I can't be a doctor, I can't fix myself, so I have to trust doctors, but doggone it, well, I would learn how to do stuff as a mechanic because I don't trust people. So I came to Germany, and I was expecting the same thing, and I got it the same time too. Man, this guy upcharged. First of all, they charged me €100 for oil change, which I found out that's standard. That's standard. It wasn't a ripoff. You get used to paying €25 in America at a quick Jiffy Lube or something like that. And I came to Germany, it was €100, but that's standard. I found it out. I want to do it myself. But then, no point in doing it yourself because then you have to get inspections. And oh man, and I understand why it seems like there's no cars broken down in Germany because everyone, if you do it right, will get an inspection. I think you have to get a TIF every couple of years, and so people normally time the TIF and inspection around the same time. But you never know what they say you're gonna need. And I feel like the first couple of times these people ripped me off, but I needed my car. And I think in America you have more freedoms to try to fix your cars. As a matter of fact, you have more stores like auto zones everywhere, or auto parts store, and even the smallest of communities. Whereas in Germany, I couldn't find any. And so I really relied on this mechanic, even though I knew, or at least in my heart, I felt like he was ripping me off. And I even heard another story about a guy who sold another man a dealership sold some rims that had been declared defective, and they still sold them to another person. And so I heard stories like that, and it wasn't the same people I was going to, but I didn't trust the people I was going to. I knew they were getting me somehow or another because they always found something. And it was hitting me up 500 every time. I'm 500 every time. It's expensive to have a car in Germany. So anyway, I stopped driving my car, and I just started riding my bike to work. I changed jobs, so I didn't need to drive my car. But like I said, my mother-in-law's boyfriend knew of a group of people, this family, and he said he'd been taking his car there for years, and he recommended me to these people, and automatically I paid $200 less than I would have paid at the other place. Just because I did the prices. I always check the online companies, how much they charge, and these people gave me a better price. But you know what? It also came with the trust, the loyalty. If my mother-in-law's boyfriend trusted these people and gave them loyalty, then it must have been right. Because he's also one of those people that he would change. He doesn't just give loyalty just for the sake of loyalty, like like a person that would love a sport team, even if they're losing for the last 50 years. No, he's not like one of those people. He will definitely change up, new phone contract, new this, new that. Doesn't matter to him. It's just whatever he can get the best for him and the best price. So, and he researches everything. He would change insurance companies if he can find a better price. And so I realized that, and so I trust his opinion. But I found out that I can trust this dealership. So finally, I have found a dealership that I can trust, And every time I call them for something, they work me in. You don't realize how many often you need a dealership. You don't normally take your car to a dealership unless you really need one. And you need to know that you can trust those people. And if they do tell you something, that you can believe them. They're not trying to rip you off. They're trying to give you the best quality possible because they understand that loyalty is important. And they also know that by me recommending them to other people, it helps them out, and they understand that. They weren't like that company in America that just ripped me off and did me dirty. And so, from that standpoint, once again, though, it's all about the connection that I made. I tried to find my own mechanics, and I was burned 2 times by 2 different companies. And this time I was done well, but once again, this connection that my wife had, I'm thankful for my wife and all her connections because I failed to make connections so far. But I'm thankful for my wife. Hey, she was a connection. So connections are very important. It's good to find people to talk to and let them help you guide you so you can find the right people that can help you get settled. Once again, this is not something that's going to stop you from moving to the country, but it's something you need to consider. And with that, I'm signing out. Peace.